onward here. So, okay, so 5 experience. Options obviously include shriveling and... something funky like Shards of the Void. I don't even remember what that card does, to be totally honest with you. Welcome JP, nice to see you again. Yeah, what does Shards of the Void even do? I totally honestly forget. I don't even remember how much it costs. Shards of the Void, 3 experience. Okay, so Shards is a seal, 3 charges, spend a charge or release the token. In fight, uses willpower, deals additional damage, you get +2 willpower. For each sealed token on it, for each 0 revealed during this attack, you seal it on this, and the attack deals an additional damage. It's not a bad option. You survived IKEA, nice. That is certainly something to be proud of. And it'd only take you like 6 hours to get through the store, I would assume. Yes. It certainly can be at times. You know, it's funny, the closest IKEA is like, I don't know, almost 2 hours from where I live, so I've only been to an IKEA once. Yeah, we're not a chaos bag, so we're not really looking at stuff like that. So what are we thinking? Just upgrading shriveling to 3 and then banking everything else? Honestly, my house is like a showroom for Wayfair. My wife buys a lot of Wayfair furniture. Okay, so are we banking the experience, chat? Yeah, it is good. I would really like to kind of take these deductions out of my deck, which is kind of why I'm a little hesitant to it, but totally makes sense. It is true. Yeah, the Bayeki are quite brutal, so that is a valid point. What other options? Shards doesn't sound like a bad option either. Wither isn't too bad either. Withering 4 anyway. So in Oath, since you haven't caught up, Mr. Penguins, basically Luke is busted and Gatebox breaks that scenario in half. So we were able to essentially get from the patient confinement room, dodge, and zoop on out in, you know, less than a single action. So that was kind of silly. Gatebox is quite good in case you needed some more confirmation on that fact. So okay, so yeah, I guess let's just upgrade shriveling. I'll take out this one. And that leaves us with 2 experience. So I don't think there's anything we want for 2 experience. Empower Self is mediocre. Yeah. And there's nothing else I'm really seeing that I want here. So okay, why don't we just go ahead and use that as our deck, and we'll copy this, and we'll get into it. Oh geez, why is this not working? Hold on. Dagnabbit. Yeah, my phone isn't doing the thing it's supposed to do. Okay, so we're just gonna quickly refresh this app so that it can use this as a remote. Okay. I'd also like to be able to read chat too, that's also helpful. So, alrighty. So before we get into setup, why don't we go ahead and load up the deck here. Okay. So there's our deck. There's our new deck. So we can get rid of this. All right, and then let's make sure we take the gate box out. Delete that as well. So we have this one here, so. All right, so there's our deck. Let's put 3 charges here. Okay, so now that everything seems to be functional again, let's get into it, shall we? All right, so a bunch of flavor text. We added the weakness. Go to Dream 2. Let's see. We slayed the monsters at the dinner party. So we suffer a mental trauma. That's lame. Okay. And then we go to Dream 6. You know, I wish they just put these in order. Let's see. The police are not suspicious of us, so we go to Dream 8. Okay. Dream 8. Where is 8? 2, 12, 8. Okay. And then, let's see. Check the campaign log. There's only 1 tally. So we go to Dream 9. Go to Dream 13. Dream 13. Where's Dream 13? There it is. All right, so... And then we go to Awakening. Okay. And then we go to Setup. Okay, so let's see here. So we gathered all the cards. We checked the campaign log. If you have equal or more doubt than conviction. I believe TTS does most of this for you. Okay, so choose one of the 2 locations, blah, blah, blah. And then put the remaining locations into play. Set the organist out of play. And we have the weakness, and then we shuffle everything else. Okay, so let's make sure the bag is correct as well. It should have 2 elder things in it. Life is like a box of gates. You magically get transported to places you never thought imaginable. Alright, so we are going the doubt route here. So this gets added to the encounter deck, and then this is our act deck here. Okay. So let's just double check the return to. So this is my first time actually playing this, so I'll be going into this blind. So let's see. When gathering the new sets, you gather Return to Phantom of Truth. Okay. Randomly choose one of the 2 locations. Put those into play. Remove the other locations. Set both copies of the Figure in the Shadows. Oh, goodness. Okay. So I think I can go ahead and delete this bag. So let's do that. And let's do this one as well. Okay, so let's see here. For the duration of this scenario, the following additional rules apply. Forced after the organist enters play, you shuffle both set-aside copies of the Figure in the Shadows into the encounter deck along with the discard pile. And then you attach this. Okay, so let's just blow this up so I don't forget it. I'm really good at remembering stuff, I promise. Okay, so I think everything else is good to go, so we'll give this a shuffle. And make sure we have a second mental trauma. And I think we're good to go here. Hopefully we don't get a blue screen. Thankfully that happened at the beginning of the stream and not the end of it, or in the middle of it. That would have been frustrating to say the least. Alright, so let's go ahead and draw our opening hand. Alright, so we have Hawkeye Folding Camera, 2 copies of Enraptured, a Ward of Protection, and a Vantage Point. So I think we're going to keep the Hawkeye Folding Camera and mulligan everything else here. So let's draw 4 new cards. Alright, so we draw Pathfinder, Deny Existence, Alice Luxley, and Shortcut. Okay, not bad. Not a bad opening hand. All right, let's set up the board here. All right. So there looks like the return to just adds everything but this location. And I believe this is where we start. Let me just double check. I have yet to receive a shipping notice for it, but I received a shipping notice for Blood of Balshandor, which should be arriving in the mail today. The mail usually comes at around 3 o'clock my time, so probably in a couple hours. Maybe I'll, during the break, maybe I'll go check the mail real quick. Okay, so just making sure we start at that location, and everything else should be good to go. Okay, so we're good there. We're good here. So let's flip this over. All right, so 4 Shroud, 1 Clue, and it has an action to spend a resource to move to any rail location. Only new locations. Well, that's not entirely true. There's also that new encounter card as well. The Lurker in the Shadows, or whatever it's called. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get our actions. Let's make sure we copy this here real quick. Okay. I just do this because I like to be able to see it without having to go all the way back up there. So, alright, I guess action 1 and action 2 are going to be to play some assets. So we'll play the Hawkeye folding camera. We'll play Pathfinder. And we have 1 action left with our turn. Yeah, I'm interested about Dexter too. He looks fun, and I'm curious to fiddle around with his asset juggling. Kind of work out what is the most ideal situation here. Okay, so let's go ahead and shuffle these up. All right, so we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. That. This. 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 And this. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and delete all those. Alright, so we have 1 action left, chat. We can't really investigate given our hand. We could move to the gardens and try to investigate here. Yeah, I imagine there's a bit of a curve to playing Dexter. Because I think he and Luke, I think, play so much more differently than a lot of the other Mystic Investigators. It's kind of why I don't like Akachi. It's just Akachi's very eggs in one basket kind of investigator, which I don't particularly care for personally. All right, so let's see. Last action, we have 0 resources, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and use my last action to move into the gardens here. All right, so this is one of the new garden locations. So it's a 2 Shroud, 1 Clue location, and has an ability that says forced after you enter the gardens of Luxembourg. If there is at least 1 Bayaki enemy in play, you reveal a random token from the bag. If you reveal a skull, cultist, tablet, elder thing, or autofail, each Bayaki in play readies and moves to the gardens. Ugh, gross. Alright, well, thankfully that's not too bad. There is not 1 Bayaki in play, so I think we just go ahead and ignore that. Including switchblades to make all your assets fast. Yeah, that seems really good. Shut up, Streamlabs. Don't tell my viewers what to do. Alright, let's go ahead and go into upkeep here. Louis will go ahead and draw a card. We draw a Prophesy. Go ahead and add a resource, and go ahead and move into Mythos phase here. Alright, so our objective is to either get 2 clues or the agenda advances automatically after 3 or more Doom are in play. So, we do not have more Conviction than Doubt, so Doom is added as normal. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and draw our first encounter card and see what we get. Hunted by Bayaki. Alright, Revelation, test willpower 6. If you fail, reveal the top X cards of the encounter deck where X is the amount you failed by. And if at least one Bayaki enemy is revealed, you have to choose one of them and draw it. And if at least one Omen Treachery is revealed, you have to take a horror. Okay, this sucks. We don't really have much to commit, so... Streamlabs really likes the word asset. That's funny. That's funny. Alright, well... Fiddle-dee-dee. I guess we're just gonna test 3v6 here. Nice. Alright, so we fail by 2. I get a charge on the gate box because it's not successful. So that's cool. Alright, so we're off to a good start today, chat. I'm feeling it. Alright, let's go ahead and discard this, and then let's move up here. So we have to discard 2 cards. And of course. Alright, so we can either take the 2/3/2 enemy with Hunter Retaliate, or we can take the Stealthy Bayaki, which gets -3 fight while it's evaded. Man, this, well, this is a bunch of hooey. Welp. Part of me wants, I think I'm gonna take this lower evade one, and it's discard them, right? No, okay, so you reveal them and then shuffle. Okay. So I guess we'll draw this guy, which is unfortunate. Is Hui better or worse than Malarkey? I don't know. I think that's up to it. I think that's up to you, chat. I would assume it's definitely up there in the old man language. Hi, Jinx. Oh man. Yeah, it's up there. It's up there in the old dad vocabulary. I should have Pathfindered last turn. That was silly. Okay, well, we could commit shortcut to go 2 up to evade this, investigate, use Pathfinder, and go from there. It's not a bad idea. So... Oh, darn it. Skylarking? I've never even heard that one before. Alright, well let's first action try to evade. We'll go 2 up, commit shortcut for an extra icon, and we draw 0. Nice. Alright, so we will evade the Swift Bayaki. Not so swift today, are we? Make sure we turn off the snap toggle here. Alright, so that was our first action. Let's second action. Let's try to investigate. We're at a 2v3 currently. I think I'm gonna go ahead and commit Alice. I'd rather draw Renfield, I think. I guess it would depend on your build. If you're playing that, like, stay in one spot and use In the Know, then probably not. But if you're playing a more average deck, then I would probably say play Pathfinder. Alright, so we're investigating 2v4 here. We commit Alice for a +1. Elder Thing. That is a -2. If you fail, lose a resource for each point you failed by. Alright, so we pass, but barely. So we go ahead and grab this clue here. Not the connection marker. The clue. There we go. Okay, so we grab this clue. And then we'll go ahead and add a resource to our Hawkeye folding camera. Let's get out of here. Let's use Pathfinder to... Do I want to move to Notre Dame, or do I want to move down here? I think I'm going to go ahead and move to Notre Dame. Alright, so Notre Dame is a 3 shroud, 1 clue location. Each enemy at Notre Dame gets -1 fight and +1 evade. And it has an action to test willpower 6. If you succeed, either place a doom on the current agenda or remove a doom. Group limit once per game. Alright, well, we have 1 action left. And we don't really have much to aid us in our investigation here, at least until another turn. Yeah, I do understand where you're coming from. If you're trying to stretch your, stretch the collection of your cards and use cards you don't normally, then sure, you don't have to play it. Do I want to test even? I don't think I do. So we have 1 action left. Let's go ahead and use that action to draw a card. And we draw a second Pathfinder. Okay, so let's move into enemy phase, where I don't believe this guy does anything. He does not. Okay. So during upkeep, he will ready, but we'll refresh here. All right, so let's refresh him, and then let's go ahead and draw a card. We draw Unexpected Courage. That is a nice little draw to have. We'll go up to 2 resources, and then we'll enter Mythos phase. And we're at 2 doom of 6, and we'll go ahead and draw our encounter card. Alrighty, and we draw the Pale Mask Beckons. So if the man in the pallid mask is in play, he attacks each investigator in player order, regardless of his location. If he's not in play, you search the bearer's deck and discard pile and draw him. Alright, so looks like we're gonna grab the man in the pallid mask here. Okay. And then we spawn him at the furthest location from us. Yeah, it just says draw him, okay. We'll go ahead and give our deck a shuffle, and then we'll put him. Let's see, so that's 1, 2. That'd be 1, 2. I think the furthest location's over here, so that's okay. We'll probably go up that way at some point anyway. Skyer Boy, thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Okay, so that was our Mythos phase. Let's go into investigation, and let's think about our turn for a second here. Notre Dame is a 3 shroud, so we could use Unexpected Courage to go up to 5. We could try to move and continue onward. This location doesn't provide a victory point, so it's not, in the grand scheme of things, super helpful to get this clue if we're solely just looking for victory points. We could use Pathfinder to move up here, and then go like maybe up here, get these clues up here. I believe this is worth a victory point. I believe one of these locations is worth a victory point. It's been a while since I've played Carcosa. Alright, so I guess I can move up. We can always use Vantage Point to grab stray clues later on too, so if we do that, that's not the worst. So let's go ahead and use Pathfinders to move up here. Okay, so this location is 3 shroud, 1 clue, and it has a reaction that says when your turn begins, if you're at this location, you get to draw a card. So that's not bad. But ultimately, doesn't have any victory points. I guess we'll first action investigate. We'll go ahead and commit this Unexpected Courage, and that'll be 5 versus, I believe, 3. Yeah. All right, so we'll go 2 up, and we draw another Elder thing. Okay, so that's a pass. We'll go ahead and add a resource to our Hawkeye folding camera. Switch this up to a 4 intellect, so that's nice. We have 2 clues, and I don't remember if it's immediately advance. You just spend the requisite number of clues. Okay. So I believe once I have the clues, I have to spend them, right? Or is it just divvied up that way? Just because there's two different objectives. I can't. Objectives are optional. Okay, so we can advance during the enemy phase, which isn't too bad. I guess let's use an action to second action move here. Alright, so the cemetery is a 2-shroud, 2-clue location. This is one of the new locations. As an ability that says, forced after an enemy moves into the cemetery, it gets +1 horror value for the remainder of the round. Okay. You don't have to advance if it doesn't say so. Okay, that's what I thought. Just wanted to make sure. Alright, so that was our second action, so we have one action left with our turn, which we could use to investigate, which I think I'm gonna go ahead and do here. So let's investigate. We're at a 4 versus 2 here, and we get a 0. Alright, the bag is being rather kind to us today, which I don't mind. I do not mind in the slightest. Okay, so let's move into enemy phase. We have a player window, so let's advance. Do enemies move? Do enemies move before enemy? Okay, I was gonna say, Matt, you should know. Of all the people that would know, it would be you. Let's see. So let's see if this would move via hunter. You move at one location at a time until it enters our location, and if it moved more than one location, it doesn't attack. Okay, so that's not the end of the world. We can easily just use our lovely gate box here to shimmy on out of here. All right, but it doesn't attack because it moved multiple locations, and then we'll move right into upkeep here, which I will go ahead and refresh. Draw a card. We draw a Death 13. Gain a resource going up to 3, and then we'll go and advance, which I meant to do, obviously, because we spent the clues. Okay, so we spawn the set-aside organist, draped in mystery, and then advance. All right, so there we go. All right, and then let's see. So after he enters play, you shuffle both set-aside copies of Figure in the Shadows, along with the counter discard pile. All right. Yes, we are playing with Doubt. All right, so Figure in the Shadows is a new treachery card. It has a revelation that says, check the campaign log. If you have more or equal doubt than conviction, you move the organist away from the nearest investigator to a location with no investigators if possible, and if you have more conviction than doubt, you resolve the hunter keyword. Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and shuffle this up. And he enters play at our location. Okay, pursuing shadows, which we advance to. All right, so this act reads, has a reaction that says, after you successfully attacked the organist, an investigator at your location may place one of their clues on the organist, and if there are 3 clues on the organist, you get to advance. All right, so let's see. He's aloof, can't be damaged. At the end of the enemy phase, if the organist is unengaged, you move it one location away from the nearest investigator to a location with no investigators if possible. If it's engaged, you disengage it instead. Okay, so. I wish I had a badumts right now. Okay, so we've done all that. Let's go into Mythos for realies this time. Oops. And we'll go up to 3 Doom. So this Prophesy is now Unexpected Courage, which is nice. And let's draw our encounter card. I know he's not engaged, I just want to put him elsewhere. Okay, so we do have a clue. So False Lead does not gain Surge, thankfully. If we have one or more clues, we have to test intellect 4, and for each point we fail by, we have to place one of our clues back onto our location. Okay, so we're testing 4v4, and it's not really the end of the world if I have to put that clue back. Like we could try to go 2 up, and then I guess, this guy kind of sucks. Kind of puts a damper on our plans. I mean, we could risk it. Just go 4v4 and see what we get. Yeah, let's just go 4v4, I guess. I think I wanna save this to try to attack, possibly. Really quite obnoxious to have to try to punch this guy right now. So I guess we'll test 4v4 here. Woo! All right, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so let's go into our investigation phase. Speaking of going somewhere. This guy's aloof, so he's over here just chilling. I can only put a clue on him once per round, right? Yeah, so at a minimum we're gonna have to spend three of our clues to try to or 3 of our turns to try to get a clue onto this guy. So we're not really in a position to do that just yet, unfortunately. This Swift Bayeki is rather obnoxious. So we could like first action evade, second action investigate, Pathfinder, something else. I don't hate it. Because I guess, like, we could get 3 clues and then kind of spend 3 turns, like, punching at the organist. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna try to get all the clues we need first. So let's go ahead and try to evade. I'm gonna commit Prophesy because I might want to hold on to this Pathfinder. So we'll commit Prophesy. That'll be 5 versus 2 here. We draw a Skull, which I believe is currently a -3. Woo! Nice. All right, so it is a -3. There's 3 doom in play. Thankfully, we evade this guy by the skin of our teeth. All right, so we're at a 2 shroud location. Let's use our second action to investigate. It's going to be 2 versus 4. We draw a -1. All right. So we get that last clue. We're gonna put a charge on our Hawkeye folding camera. Another one bites the dust. We have 2 clues now, and we have an action left with our turn. Let's go ahead and use Pathfinder to move here. All right, so we are at the Canal St. Martin. It's a 3 shroud, 1 clue location, has a victory point, and it says while you're here, you must use your combat in place of your agility and vice versa. Okay, well that actually might be helpful to us. This is one of the new locations too, so we used Pathfinder to move in, and we have 4 intellect. So we could try to investigate 4v3, or we could play Pathfinder and move, or we could play Death 13. Those are our options, I think. Debating on playing an asset. I don't know if we want to play Pathfinder just yet. Yeah, I think if we boost our intellect, we won't have to... I think we can pretty safely save all of our wild icons for other tests. And we still have deductions in our deck, unfortunately. So I guess last action here, let's play Death 13. And that will be our turn, so we'll go into enemy phase. And let's see. So at the end of the enemy phase, which would be now, because nothing else happens, this guy will refresh during upkeep. Let's see. So at the end of the enemy phase, if the organist is unengaged, you would move him one location away from the nearest investigator to a location with no investigators if possible. Alright, so I guess he'd just move down here. Make sure we untoggle the snap from him. Okay, so that is enemy phase, so we'll go right into upkeep. I already refreshed the enemy, so that's that. We'll gain a resource, draw a card. We draw a second Deny Existence, okay. So, we'll move into Mythos phase. We're at 4 Doom of 6. And we draw Hunted by Bayaki again. Okay. So that sucks. Because of our location, right? Yep. so we're at a 2 right now instead of a 3. So we'll just test 2v6 here. Alright, so we fail by 6. Well, that's fine, I guess. So let's go ahead and look at the top 6. Okay, and what do we get? So we find a Praying Bayaki. That's unsettling. And the Omens. Yes, okay, so we have to take a Horror as well. Alright, so the Praying Bayaki is a 2/3/5 enemy. Gosh. Oh, that is brutal. Its prey is us, it has Hunter, and while it's engaged with an investigator with 4 or with sanity 4 or fewer remaining, you swap its fight and evade values. Ugh. Man, where's our Shriveling when we need it? We'll go ahead and shuffle the encounter deck here. And this thing spawns engaged with us. We'll take a Horror from the being hunted by Bayaki. Ugh. Brutal. Okay, well, I think we're gonna have to Gatebox. So, that's a thing. Yeah, we don't really have a good way of dealing with it otherwise, so. So away we go. So we will say bye now. Exhausted, spend a charge, disengage. Thank you very much. No likey. No likey. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move into our wondrous journey. Wish we had a vantage point right now. That would have been sweet. We could have grabbed this clue. But that's neither here nor there. So, okay, so we don't really have a way to deal with that stuff. So let's, I think I'm gonna use Pathfinder to move into the into our starting location. So yeah, so we'll use Pathfinder to move in. And we have 3 actions. So man, Gatebox is so good. Gatebox is so good. Let's first action move up to the opera. This is a 5 shroud, 1 clue location. While you're investigating this location, you double the number of skill icons on cards committed to this test. Okay, well, I don't think we're going to be investigating there, so let's... We could go up to this location. Could move over to this location, but then we'd have to deal with this Praying Bayaki, so I think this location is off limits. So I'll go ahead and move up here. Alright, so this is a 3 shroud, 1 clue location with a victory point, and it says forced. After you reveal this location, you must either take 2 horror or shuffle all non-weakness cards in your hand and draw an equal number of cards. That seems kind of fine with me, honestly. Yeah, I'm totally cool with that. So let's go ahead and do the latter. We'll shuffle these and draw 3 cards. That seems pretty sweet. Alright. That was first action move. Second. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah. Okay, so. Draw 2 weaknesses in a Pathfinder. Face palm. Well, I guess we're getting these out of the way now. So, okay, so if Dreamgate's in play, you flip it over. Otherwise, you put it in play. In either case, you disengage and you move to it. That's fine. Fine. Such a dink. Should have just ignored it. Well, that's unfortunate. God damn it. Alright, well, I guess last action we'll draw a card. Assholes. Alright, so we draw a Storm of Spirits. So, end of the investigation phase, we have to take 2 horror, and then we have to move to a location. So I think we would just go back here. And then we'll go ahead and put this back down here. Man, that sucked. Alright, well, fine. So, this Byac key during enemy phase is going to move here. And then this Byac key will move a bunch and re-engage us. Alright. So that was enemy phase. And then end of enemy phase, this guy moves. So he's gonna move here. Yeah, so he moves there. And then we'll go into upkeep. Man, that was brutal. That was man. Oh, that'd be great. We'll draw a shriveling and it'll be great. And it wasn't. Alright, let's draw a card. We draw a Perception, okay. Not the best, but it is what it is. Move into Mythos phase here. We're at 5 Doom of 6, and our encounter card for the turn is another False Lead. Okay, so we have to test Intellect 4 again. Thankfully, we're at a 5, thanks to this lovely tarot card and our charged up Hawkeye folding camera. Let's go ahead and commit Perception, because we want to try to draw into our Shrivelings. So we're going to be at a 7v4 here. And draw -1. Alright, so we pass. So we get to draw a card. We draw a Deduction. Okay. I guess that's fine. And we're still engaged with this stupid Byac. Right. Well, let's go into investigation phase and refresh here. What are our options? What are our options? I really want that clue. 2/3/2. Yeah, we really don't have much in the way of dealing with that right now. We really need a Shriveling or something. Shards of the Void would also be good if we had that in our deck. Where's that Jimmy's dad meme with the trophy right now? Shriveling would be great if I had one. I guess we're gonna commit Pathfinder to try to evade. We could Gatebox, I guess, too. Let's take a look at the map here real quick. Can we... So, hold on, let's see what this says. So, after you successfully attack the Organist, any investigator at your location may place one of their clues. So, it doesn't say that you have to be at the Organist's location. So, okay, so how does this work with Luke? Can Luke use Storm of Spirits to attack the Organist, and then while he's sitting in his Dreamgate, can he put a clue on it? Does that work? Like, not that we have the resources to do it this turn, but does that interaction work? Because if so, that's really silly. That would be insanely silly if that's the case. Man, we really should have put a Spectral Razor in our deck. That would have been really good too. Spectral Razor probably would have been worth it to spend 2 experience points to put that in our deck. So we could... Man, that's weird. That would be a very strange interaction if that was the case. So I guess... Yeah, I guess we'll just go ahead and... We'll evade. This will buy us a turn, hopefully. So we'll evade 2v4. Alright, we get a 0. It's a 3 shroud. We could try to spend an action to investigate, which I think seems fine. So let's do that. We'll use deduction to go up to 6. So I don't think I'm going to need this intellect icon for anything else. So we'll do that. We'll go up to 6 and get another 0. Catastrophic's favorite bug in the whole bag, where it gives you a bunch of the same token. Alright, we get this clue. We get this. I don't think we want to try to investigate the stranger just yet. So let's Pathfinder out of here. Let's go here. And then let's use another action to move. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go back down here. Okay, so that was our turn, and then enemy phase, this guy will move here, and then upkeep, this guy will ready. End of enemy phase, this guy will move up here, and we'll go into upkeep. Okay, so we'll refresh, gain a resource, draw a card, vantage point, there we go, that's what I'm talking about. And we will go into Mythos phase. Still not a shriveling though. Alright, let's advance here. Go up to 6 Doom. So each investigator disengages from each engaged enemy and may move to a connecting location. And then you move the organist to one location from the nearest investigator to a location with no investigators if possible. Okay, so let's move him here, and then I guess we can... Doesn't have to be revealed, right? And may move to a connecting location. Okay, so it doesn't say anything about revealed or unrevealed. So let's, I guess, go here. And this location is a 2 shroud, 1 clue location that has a fast action. It says discard a card from your hand, gain resources equal to the number of willpower icons discarded. Okay, well, that's fairly irrelevant. So the organist is back up there, which could potentially help us. We don't need any more clues. I mean, the only clue we'd really want is this one. So we might do that. I guess let's draw our encounter card before we forget. Alrighty, test willpower 5. We're currently at 5. If we fail, we have to put it into play in our threat area with a resource on it for each point we fail by, and each time we play a card, you have to increase the card by 1 and remove a resource from this card, and then when there's no resources on it, you discard it. Alright, so don't have much to commit, so we're gonna go 5v5. And we get a 0. Woo! 3 zeros in a row. Let's go. Let's go. Alright. 3 actions. Investigation phase. We could gatebox. Use vantage point, but then we couldn't storm spirits. Well, I guess we could resource. We could gain a resource with 1 action. So let's just take a look at the map here real quick. Yeah, we don't need any of these other clues. I don't remember if this place has a victory point or not. But I guess let's go ahead and first action, well, let's gatebox first. So we'll use a charge on our gatebox to go into our wondrous journey. And then when we put it into play, let's go ahead and use vantage point. And we will snag that clue off this location. And we'll give this -1 shroud. first action is going to be to investigate a 5v0. And we pass, but of course. Okay. And we will Pathfinder in. Okay. Well, hold on. Because we could, let's see. We could gain a resource and then use Storm of Spirits. Alternatively, we could engage and fight. And that'd be 3v3. Which doesn't sound particularly great. Really kind of sucks to have to use this on an enemy like that. These are all 3 health. Ugh, so brutal. We have 2 actions left with our turn. I mean, if we keep drawing zeros, then engaging and fighting is great. Another option is to gain a resource fight using Storm of Spirits. Not really sure what we should be doing. This is tough. It's tough because Luca's not great at doing this without shriveling, unfortunately. I mean, I guess we could just let him become disengaged with us, but then we'd have that stupid Swift Bayeki again. Another option, I guess. No, I guess that is really our only options. Because if we use the Storm of Spirits, it leaves us with nothing. Alternatively, you could like draw a card and see what we get. I think I'm gonna try to Pathfinder in, use an action to engage, and then maybe use an action to fight, and we'll just try 3v3 here. Okay, well that's definitely a fail. That's like a minus. Is it actually? Oh my god. Wow. That is extraordinarily lucky. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, man. It's better to be lucky than to be good, huh? Alright, cool. So we managed to punch the organist, and I believe so we attacked him. And we get to place a clue on him, so that's nifty. Okay, so we'll do that. And then that's the end of our turn. Nothing else we want to do, so we'll move right into enemy phase. And this guy will move. And then the Swift Bayeki will move, but not attack us. And the reason that we're 3v3 there was because of the location that we were at switches our agility in combat. So, alright, so that was enemy phase, and then this guy will disengage at the end of enemy phase. Yep, and we'll go right into upkeep. Okay, so we will gain resource, draw a card. Draw a ward, okay, that's a pretty good draw. I believe we would also take a horror from the organist, so that's a thing as well. Let's go ahead and move right into Mythos phase here. We're at 1 Doom of 5. And our encounter card for the turn is Deadly Fate. So, it reads, Revelation, test willpower 3. If you fail, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded. You must either draw that enemy or that enemy attacks you from the discard pile. And if no enemy is discarded, you take a horror. Alright, well, we're 2 up on that test, so I think we're pretty safe to just do that. So, alright. So, we were 2 up, and then we draw -2. We pass by the skin of our teeth. Alright. So, let's move into investigation. Man, this friggin' Swift Bayek key has been super annoying. I'm really, really kind of regretting picking this one over the other one. Okay, well. Can't really afford to take too much horror here. So we're gonna need a buff of horror to try to what am I trying to say? Try to hit the organist, so so we could Storm of Spirits punch. So we're currently at a 3 combat. Evading is 2v2 currently, so yeah, does Storm of Spirits work with the Organist ability? I'm kind of confused how that works. I would assume so, right? Or am I totally off base on that? Let me I'm gonna quickly check Arkham DB and see if there's any rulings on it. Well, it's not what the organist says particularly. It's what the agenda says. Or the act deck, excuse me. Oh, well, that's useless. Okay, well, that was pointless. Yeah, so it just says after you successfully attack it, and an investigator at your location may place one of his or her clues on the organist. Right? And then the organist is just a, typical, moves around. Dealing damage to the organist doesn't count. So I have to engage and fight him every single time to do that. Is that what you're getting at, JP? If so, that's super obnoxious. Ugh, brutal. Okay. Well, I mean, we gotta deal with this. And then we're gonna have to deal with this. Ugh. Alright, well, let's... I guess... This puts us in a tough spot. Punching is not our strong suit without some sort of aid. So, I guess my other question would be, because it doesn't interact with Storm of Spirits, so I guess that kind of answers my own question. Crap baskets. The Gatebox doesn't really do much except give us breathing room. Don't really need resources. I don't really want to do that either. Let's, I guess... I think I have to use Gatebox. Okay. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah. Well, I guess, okay, so here's my other question then. Can I use Gatebox, use Luke's ability to play Storm of Spirits, targeting it from a different location, and then put a clue on it? Does that work? Because if so, that's what I think that's what I would do. Okay, well, yeah, let's do that. So I guess I'll use Gatebox to go on a wondrous journey. Yeah, that's what I assume. Is that since it technically counts as, yeah, you may play one event each turn as if you're at a connecting location and engaged with each enemy at that location. So I'm going to assume that that's how that works. So yeah, let's first action, let's do that. 1, 2, 3. We will play Storm of Spirits. That'll put us 5v3. How much Doom is in play? There's 1 Doom in play. Okay, so the skulls are currently at -1. Using the ward doesn't really do much. So yeah, so we'll just test 5v3 here. And we get an Elder Sign. Wow, that was sick. Nice. Okay, that's cool. Alright, well, we get to deal 2 damage to this enemy. Alrighty. So this might be the enemy we kill to satiate our bloodthirst. If we can ever friggin' find a shriveling. Okay, so that's sweet. So since I did that, I'm assuming I can also put a clue on the organist. That seems fair. Okay, let's Pathfinder way on out of here, because all set with his business. So I guess we just go down here. So, okay. So we Pathfindered in and we have 2 actions left. I guess let's draw with 1 action. Let's see what we get. Okay, we get a second Hawkeye folding camera. That is not particularly useful. I mean, unless we can double Hawkeye folding camera, then that's kind of funny, but I think we need to find a shriveling, most importantly. There's 22 cards left in our deck. Let's... yeah, I guess last action, let's try to find that shriveling. So we'll draw again. There it is, finally. The shriveling. Alright, so enemy phase. We will move this guy over here. And then this guy will go boop, 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 boop. He'll engage us. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. Okay. He moves there, and then the organist at the end of the enemy phase will go all the way over here. Not that that matters. And he doesn't attack, so we'll go right into upkeep. Draw. There's all the shrivelings. They're stacked next to each other. That's rude. Alright, we'll gain a resource. Get our actions back. We'll go to Mythos. Should we refresh our stuff? We're at 2 Doom of 5. And our encounter card for the turn is another Deadly Fate. So this is the test willpower 3, and if we fail, we have to discard cards. Right? Stupid TTS shuffling the deck. Alright, so we're testing currently 5v3, so... Alright, nice. So we pass. Drawing a -2. Thanks, Jesse. That's very nice. Okay, well... So that was Mythos phase. It was pretty tame, all things considered. Okay, well, let's take a look at the board here. So the organist can either move back to the location it was at, or it can move here pretty much next turn. Or it's going to stay there. Or does it have to move? Yeah, I don't know if it has to move, but So, options here. We can could try to just evade it again. We can't play Shriveling yet. We don't have enough resources. Alternatively, we can use Gatebox again, disappear, and show up somewhere else. So we only need one more clue. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So we'll Gatebox again. This card is so good. This guy will disengage from us. We'll move to the Wondrous Journey. Okay. That's first action. Gain a resource. Second action, gain a resource. Third action, play Shriveling. It seems fine. Okay. So yeah, that'll be our turn. And then we get to move to any location, so I guess we would move here. Okay. And that's the end of the investigation phase, right? Yes. Okay. So enemy phase. The spraying Bayaki will move back to this rail location, and then this stupid swift Bayaki will come back and find us again. Okay, but thankfully we finally have a Shriveling in play. And then end of the enemy phase, the Organist will go ahead and move back to this Canal St. Martin location. All right, so we will go to Upkeep, gain a resource, draw a card. We draw Enraptured, okay? And Mythos phase. We're at 3 Doom of 5 now. And we draw a Marked by the Sign. Test Willpower 2. If you fail, take 2 Horror. If the Man in the Pallid Mask is in play, Horror dealt by this effect is considered direct horror, and it gains +2 difficulty. So we're testing 4v5 here. I don't really... 4v5. I guess I could commit this Hawkeye folding camera. So we'll go 6v4 here. And that's a -3, I believe. Yes. Okay, so we finally fail a test. And then we have to take 2 horror. Okay. We have 2 horror left remaining. Yeesh. Okay. Let's discard this and go into investigation phase. Alright, so let's first action satiate our bloodthirst with this Bayaki. We're gonna fight 7v2. And we draw -1. So we deal it 2 damage. This will finally go away, and we satiate our bloodthirst. Thank goodness. So that was our first action. Let's second action. We will... Oh, I forgot to draw a card. So we started our turn at that location. Okay, we drew a Working a Hunch from that. And yeah. Alright, so we'll move here with Pathfinder. We will use an action to engage the Organist, and then let's go ahead and fight the Organist with our Shriveling. Yeah. Well, let's see. Let me, Okay, so we can just advance as soon as there's 3 clues, so I don't have to worry about dying. So last action is going to be to fight? Oh, crap. Oh, that is the last... Yeah, it's the last agenda, so... Alright, last action. Otherwise, if we fail this test, we are going to die. Actually, that's not true. We can Gatebox. We can, worst comes to worst, we'd have to use the last charge for our Gatebox to move, but that's neither here nor there, so let's try to fight the Organist here. That's going to be 7. Yep, 7v3. We want to go 8v3? Is there any point? I don't think so. 7v3, yeah, there's no point. Okay, so 7v3 here. And we get an Elder Sign. That's 3 Elder Signs in this game. Alright, and then we get to spend a clue and move it over to the Organist, which causes us to advance. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Alrighty, so let's see. Check the campaign log. If we intruded on a secret meeting, you proceed to Resolution 2. Otherwise, you proceed to Resolution 1. Alright, so the last action of our turn there. Alright, so Resolution 1. We record in our campaign log that we found Nigel's home. Okay. We remove all the Elder things from the bag and add 2 cultists back to the bag. Alrighty. I think I had some, yeah. Put those in the bag. And didn't have to deal with Jordan, thankfully. And then we earn Victory X. So let's see what we get here. We get 1 from the gardens. We get 1 from this location. We get 1 from this location and another one. So that's 4. Nice. So we had 2 left over. So now we have 6 experience. So that's pretty sweet. Is there an interlude? I don't remember. There is not. Okay, so not bad at all. Not bad at all. All right, well, that went pretty swimmingly, honestly. 3 Elder Signs was extremely helpful. Having charges on our gate box allowed us to move around the map fairly effortlessly, especially when in tandem with the Pathfinder that we had in our opening hand. So that was really good. And the cheese that we were able to do with the Storm of Spirits was also really nice too. So we were able to not only get a clue on the Organist enemy, but we were also able to soften up the Swift Bayaki that had been trailing around the entire game. So that was pretty good. It's a little past 2 o'clock right now, so I do have time for one more scenario. I will, however, take about a 5 to 10 minute break between setup and I'm gonna go quickly check my mail to see if Blood of Bal Shandor arrived, and yeah. So stay tuned, and we will return with the Return to the Pallid Mask.